And, but basically, the most important for live crystal to restore the circuitry problem. You can take the elder people, and I have some clinical study done on 40 patients, elderly patients. We can take the elderly people and take them off from Medicare and put them back on the street. Clinics and doctors are saying that we can cut the medical cost into half, just with live crystal alone, by cleaning up the circularity problem of the world, which is a very big problem. The Chondrianas, it's a different story. Now, it's blessing from God that it's here today, because we can go and help people who desperately need it. Now, we have a lot of obstacles to overcome. Number one is to clear the product and legalize it in every country. We have to go through the standard procedures of regulatory problems we're facing in each individual country. Some countries are easy, some countries is more difficult. Of course, ours is the worst in the US. And we're trying to get it on the market, and we keep it off the market. We don't want the product on the market on the ground. We want to have the product above the ground. We do not want anyone handling Chondriana other than clinics or doctors, because even if you inject distilled water intravenously, it's dangerous. The Chondriana only can be administered intravenously. They are 100 microns to 500 microns in size, and you certainly cannot take and absorb an elephant sublingually. So it has to be administered, not even intramuscular, intravenously, has to be administered. They immediately go to the spot. I took a lot of treatment myself, and they find this trouble spot. There's a very strong immune reaction proceeding if the person is very sick or has a lot of toxin in the body. Some people don't have any reaction because vegetarians, especially when they are in good health and there is nothing to fight. But generally, when people take the Chondriana, they're getting very strong reaction, and the reaction is commensurate with the amount of disease and also the dosage rate. And the doctors and the clinics have to determine the dosage rate based on the condition of the patient and based on the past history of the patient. This is very closely followed and computerized by the people who's doing the clinical studies and getting it ready for approval. But after the initial immune reaction, what it really feels like catching a cold and coming down with chill and shake. But not as simple as just a simple cold, because you freeze, like in a deep freezer, and you shake, you never shook in your life before. A lot of, even clinics and hospitals at the beginning, they were panicking at what's happening, because like people in convulsion, but it's really not, because you have full control and you know what's going on. Matter of fact, I enjoyed every one of them. And after the initial chill and shake, it sets in exactly 60 minutes after. And here comes again another way to make Chondriana, live crystal and the bloodstream. You can make Chondriana with the blood. If some people who took in a successive injection of live crystal, they can evolve Chondriana inside in their own body from the blood cells. The blood cells will blow up, and the Chondriana start giving birth to Chondrianas. And that formation of the Chondriana, if somebody gets the injection, the Chondriana's genetic material gets into the bloodstream, and it starts. The blood cells will blow up 3-4 times its size and start producing Chondrianas. Now this takes exactly 60 minutes. And this is why the delay for the immune reaction. You won't have anything until 60 minutes, and then the immune reaction starts. Now, a lot of people get a lot of aches and pains depending what area is the disease. Now, if somebody has colon cancer, they have a lot of tummy ache. If somebody has breast cancer, the breast will burn and painful because they directly go to the site and go into action. The immune reaction, the chill and shake, is lasting 30 to 45 minutes. Some cases it goes to an hour. I had one which went to an hour. That again, that depending on how well the doctor is monitoring the cases and how much he's administering. Now, if you would overdose somebody can shake for 3 days. You know, like the first party got 30 cc's. The normal rate is 0.2 cc and 0.3 cc. And that poor man in Mexico was shaking for 3 days. But and of course, I know one other person in the audience here, my wife, sitting right there. She was shaking for 2 days, and they overdosed her by mistake in Mexico. And she got 3 cc. But nobody died and nobody got injured. The product is very safe because it's part of us. But this immune reaction is part of the treatment, and it's a desirable reaction because that's the way you know that the immune system is working. After the chill and shake is over, I myself, I get up and eat. And because my appetite is always comes back. I'm a very poor eater, but that's the only time I really have good appetite. And then I go back, and my temperature goes up to 103. Other people say 102, 102.5. And that lasts about 60 minutes. So it burns you out, and then comes the swelling, an hour and a half, and I look like somebody fished me out from a lake. So it's a just tremendous amount of swelling. But then next day I go to sleep, I feel like $1 million. I just feel terrific. I was feeling terrific when I was taking the treatment. But this is part of the cause. The Chondrianas, they don't care what kind of disease there is. They attack any disease what does not belong into human body. They're part of our immune system. And they do not live in your blood. When somebody gets it intravenously, they go straight into the lymph channels. And they join their ancestors. They're living together with your other defense cells in the lymph system. And we have evidence because we checked it, and that's where they stay. They're also super intelligent. They know what to do. They know when to multiply. They know how to multiply. And they know what type of military to build. They are military and military planners. They pick up the frequency of a disease or a virus, and they custom design a military to defeat it. So in each case, there's many different ways to use the product, but right now we're limited because we are very much restricted of how can we use and where can we use the product. And right now we're very happy that we have some countries where we're doing clinical studies that the local health department is cooperating with us, and the work is being done. So right now most of the work is just being done with the straight Chondrianas. But the initial work, we used to do culturing with the clinics, taking a minuscule amount of blood from a particular patient with a particular disease and put it into the Chondrianas with live crystal and culture a custom serum. Because the Chondrianas recognize the disease in the diseased blood, because the blood carries the history of your whole history of what's taking place in your body, and they will design and build a military to defeat the disease. So when you re-inject it, a custom-designed military, the progress is much faster. Now, I have a clinical report here, which I can pass around if people are interested to look at it. Many cases of different types of diseases. I can happily report to you that we finally got the first written report from HIV positive to HIV negative.